So she's been at sea for 38 days. She's back home now and she's going to be loaded back into the trailer. Right, it's been 2.5 days since we picked her up, and I'm going to pull all this rubbish off and see, hopefully find out what sort of condition she's like inside. Hopefully there's no condensation or anything like that. Managed to get most of the plastic off. Burner, fan if you can see it. There's a tank there. Right, see if I can get this off the trailer by myself. Gonna be a hell of a task on my own. Managed to get the burner out. There's the crown line, and that should now be 18 kilograms less inside here. There's one of the tanks, there's another tank, there's the fan, and here is Shadow Star's scoop, which I took off because it was wet. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to get all this shifted out and take the basket out there and give it a good clean. Goodness knows how, but I've managed to bring the basket onto its pivot point. The fan is still inside. That weighs a good 68 kilograms. The balloon is down below, and she weighs about 119 kilograms. The tanks are here, and the banners that I talked about in the previous video that I took from Qatar itself are here. I'm going to hang them up in my bedroom, just as a little memento. Right, so I'm going to pull this off and see if I can empty the rest of the basket out. There we have it. There's Shad. There's the fan. Managed to do it. Can't believe I managed to do it without even hurting my back. And there's the mess of the aftermath. Got to get rid of all that horrible plastic. Right, now to give this a good scrub down. Now I just want to stress that this is not because of Qatar. I actually do this with my basket every 2 years. I last did it in 2021. It wasn't done in 2022, so it's due it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jet wash it, get rid of all the dirt and all the ingrain sand that may be in there. You can still hear it coming out there. I'm going to get rid of all that. As you can see, the rawhide is in fairly poor condition. This will need to be completely renewed, and also the rope handles will need to be replaced as well, because as you can see they're starting to go. The worst one is actually underneath the basket, which I'll show you in a minute. Right, so to give you a quick lowdown on what I'm going to do, firstly I'll show you the rope handle that needs to be completely replaced. As you can see, it's almost, well, yeah, it's terrible. So the rawhide will need to be completely replaced. That will go to a specialist repairer soon. Everything is going to be stripped out of here, including the floorboards. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to completely jet wash this and then give it another coat of Danish oil. So it will take about 5 days for the rawhide to harden again, because when it gets wet it softens and it can be ripped apart very, very easily. But when I start jet washing, I'm going to remove this as well. I'm going to completely jet spray the basket to completely clear it of any muck or any sand that may still be lurking inside. There is sand still lurking inside the tanks, as you can see. This one's definitely caked in sand. I'm pleased to report that none of the carabiners have any rust on them. However, it does look as though the tetherings here, or whatever you want to call them, do have rust on the inside of them. Not much of a concern, but it will be addressed if it needs to be. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use this to spray the basket completely inside and out. I think you get this. Quick lowdown on what we've done. So, done the bottom, done the top. I've flipped it upside down. I've cleaned the rope handles, although they will never actually be clean. That you can see there's dirt ingrined into the threads there. As I say, these will never be clean. Number of times that I've cleaned them, and they still make your hands all mucky when you grab them. Just to recap, this will actually fail C of A the next time the inspector sees this. That is because the canes are exposed underneath. The rawhide is supposed to absorb and maintain integrity when dragging. Rawhide is actually very, very strong when it's rock hard dry. However, when it's wet, like it is now, it will go soft and pliable, and you can tear it very, very easily. So if I was to land in a field right now, this would be completely ripped from the bottom. As I say, this needs to be completely replaced. The rope handles need to be completely replaced. As you can see here, that's just literally hanging on by a thread. The runners look okay. The rivets here, they're still pretty in good condition. These get ground down very, very easily when landing on hard surfaces, and also people dragging the basket across surfaces as well. That's why I use a pallet, which you can see just over there, when I'm moving my basket out here on the ground. So all in all, yeah, I think we're okay. This is notified. Many inspectors have looked at it before and said that's fine. It's the runners that are the main concern, because they take the force of landings, and also it saves the rawhide from being dragged across the ground when manoeuvring the basket. So all in all, I've managed to hopefully clean as much dirt out of it as possible, and if I lift this up, you will see how much rubbish was actually inside the basket before I did it. So yeah, so a complete and utter deep clean, and also I believe this is a good way of putting moisture back into the wicker carefully, so it doesn't damage the pole sockets. Another thing I just want to point out as well, if you can see this brown, I can't remember the name of it, inspectors have notified me before, but if you get woodworm inside that, then your basket is completely, basically finished. These are the main supports inside the basket, and apparently it's like sweets to woodworm. They will go for it as soon as they can find it. So the next thing to do is allow this to dry, and then put some wood treatment on it, and then complete wood treatment, that is, complete wood worms and stuff, and then coat it with Danish oil, and it will look up real nice and shiny. So that is how I take care of my basket. Here we are with a quick follow-up video. It's been 5 days since I gave the basket a real good spray and a clean, and what I'm doing now is, if you can hear that noise, that is the sand and all the debris coming out of the side, and as you can see, I'll try and hold the camera as still as I can, but if you can see that, all that debris in there, we want it out. It traps moisture, and it can damage the canes inside. It can lead to rot, it can lead to woodworm and everything. So we want that out as much as possible before we can start to Danish oil it. So I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Basically whacking the rawhide and getting rid of all that debris, and as you can see, it's on the floor. So I've done a bit of whack-a-mole on the side of the rim of the basket, and as you can see, all that dust and all that debris is what has come out from the crevices up there, and unfortunately with using this brush there is still lots of it in the corners, up there, round there, and it's all got to be brushed out before you can actually Danish oil it so you don't trap any moisture in and allow it to rot. Got the Danish oil in a pot, and we'll be using this brush, and what we'll be doing is we'll be applying it to the we'll be liberally applying it to the canes. This should protect it for the next 2 years or so. I'm about halfway done, and I just wanted to show you the difference between the two. So this side you're looking at has been coated, looks very nice and shiny. It will dry slightly more duller than that, but it will protect it. And this is the side that hasn't been done for about 2 years, and as you can see there's a big difference. Well, to me there is anyway. So just got this side to do and this side to do, and then it should be done. There is no need to do the inside, however I will give it just one little quick coat just to protect it, because the canes need to be able to breathe. If they don't breathe properly they get brittle and eventually break, as demonstrated in this corner here. That's where my tanks have been leaning up against the cane and have actually damaged it. But yeah, gonna do the rest of it now and I'll show you how I've been doing it. Here is the Danish oil. Put the brush in, let it drip, and then just apply. It will get sort of fizzy, or if you will, if you can see the bubbles, but these will dissipate. You go all the way down to the bottom, trying not to get it on the rope. It's impossible not to, but and basically that's it. That's all you do, just to preserve it, and make it look nice as well. You can't miss a nice shiny basket. You get so many compliments on the launch field as well. So yeah, that's how I apply it, and that's done all over the canes. Now that all the sides are done, I'm going to do the bottom. Everything will be coated, including the runners. It all helps to preserve it all. So as you can see, the basket is completely coated, glimmering nicely, and as I say, it will lose some of that shine, but not all of it, and it will look really nice once it's covered. So it's just the edge of this rim here to do, and the underside. And after about 45 minutes, I've now got to take Brams for hydrotherapy. I have a completely oiled up basket. I've done the outside and I've done the floor, and I have completely run out of this Danish oil. There's absolutely nothing left inside, as you can hear. So it's surprising. That's one whole litre of Danish oil, and I've used it to cover this whole basket. As I say, it's only taken 45 minutes. Now what's all left to do is to squirt wood treatment in all the corners and all over the floor and all over the sides, and that is how you look after your basket.